Welcome to a new episode from our show, Closing the Gap. Closing the Gap is a completely non-formal program where I get the honor of meeting a family in their normal environment, talking about normal things of daily lives, and hoping to use their experiences to help you at your own homes as well to close the gap. The gap of culture, the gap of age, the gap of gender, the gap of siblings versus parents, the gap of school versus university. So many gaps. And the gap we are going to speak about today. Can I have a friend from the opposite gender? And I'm honored to have a beautiful family today. They are the Barsoum family, so I'll introduce them for you. I'll start with my right.
Nancy Barsoum. I'm an engineer.
And Nader Barsoum, pharmacist.
Kristen Barsoum, second year of high school.
Michael Barsoum, second year of college.
Kian Barsoum. What do I say?
I know. Are you working?
No.
So are you married? So what are you then? You go to the university? So what do you go to? You go to school?
Cool.
Oh, I'm sorry. What grade are you?
First grade.
First grade. Wow. You must know a lot of things.
And I'm 6
6 what?
years old.
6 years old? You are so old. You are the oldest of all of us.
No.
I am the oldest. So, I'm very happy to be with the Barsoum family. Thank you for inviting us. Thank you for being on COIC. And I'm not sure whom you want to start. Anyone can jump on this, especially Caitlin. Can and when I have a friend from the opposite gender? I know you have a lot of things to say, so why don't you shoot?
I honestly don't see what's wrong with it. Like, gender shouldn't be a problem. They're just friends, just to say.
So, explain that in more details. You are 10th grade now.
Yeah.
So, another friend who is a boy will be your friend in what age and what rank? 10th grade also, or higher or lower?
Yeah, any age, that's a guy. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Okay.
It doesn't affect the relationship.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with what you're saying. And what friendship exactly means to you?
Friendship, someone that you could go to for advice, ask, just hang out with,
Okay. We'll come back to that. That's beautiful. And Michael?
I think that, I think it depends because sometimes it could lead to other things. So.
Like what?
I don't know, like boyfriend and girlfriend and stuff like that.
Like physical stuff, you mean?
Yeah.
I see. So you would rather have no girl as a friend. You are talking about second year college, or are you talking about high school, or are you talking about her age? Her age.
Yeah.
So you prefer that your sister wouldn't have a boy as a friend because you are afraid of escalation into physical stuff?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
How dare him?
Yeah, I disagree with that. No.
Is he your parent?
No.
You want to sit here? So, but don't you trust her?
I do, but with what's going on nowadays, all of these problems you see, stuff.
But what does that has to do with trusting your sister, though?
That's true.
Listen, I don't want you to doubt yourself. I'm just telling you what's in her mind. All right, think about it. I'll come back to you. Mom, Caitlin wants to have a boy as a friend. Are you okay? And if you are, why? And if you are not, why?
We should be friends with all genders. I have no problem with that. I always tell her.
This is being recorded.
What I meant to say is, when someone says, I'm going to hang out with one particular boy,
Yes.
I do have an issue because.
So your problem is not the gender, but the a specific person all the time? Is that what you meant?
Yeah, I always tell her being as a group,
Okay.
I don't have an issue. I just, when you single out one boy, you know, where's this going? You know, they may not know it, but it could lead to, you know, feelings, and then, you know, why get to that point? So
Okay.
that's why I tell her, you know, let's not ignite the fire, stay away from it. So just try to, you know.
What if this boy you actually know? You know his family, you know how he was raised. Would your opinion change? Am I answering for you?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Again, like, it's, you know, why that one person?
Okay, so it's not a lack of knowledge of the person. You would like to know every one of her friends' families,
Of course.
but it's not because of that, but rather the uniqueness or the why specific person. Okay, Nader, are you okay if you're, I know that usually girls are very close and sometimes to their fathers than their moms. By the way, are you closer to your mom or your dad or your Caitlin?
I'm closer with Michael of all of them.
You are closer to
Yeah.
Michael. Oh, that's nice. I love that.
That's good.
That's
to know.
beautiful. You didn't know that? It's being recorded too. So Nader, your daughter comes and talk to mom. Mom starts screaming and saying, "I told you I don't want a boy as a friend." And then she tells you, "Please handle that." How do you handle it?
In my case, I find a lot of times is I reinforce my point of view from the Bible. I like to reinforce everything I say. This is our rule, this is our guide. And unless we refer back to the Bible, which is our instruction book on life,
Okay.
if our intentions are good, still temptations are going to be there. Don't put yourself in a case of being tempted. Many of us think that we're beyond temptation, that we can stand straight and stand strong even in the midst of the hardest temptation because we are very strong. But it's better not to be in that place unless you're at a certain age where you logically see that person is fit to be a life companion, and you've made the decision that that's the person that could be a life companion. Now we can say it just could be a platonic, just a very, very casual friendship, and that's what you will hear from a teenage daughter. But still, there is that chance that one thing could lead to another. There's a song, an American song. One thing leads to another. So just to be cautious, be careful. That's my concern.
So, is that logic?
No, like there's always risk factors. I don't think you should just stay away from something because you're afraid of what will happen. Like if you know like they're just a friend, like I don't see what's wrong with hanging out with them. They're just a friend.
What does that just a friend means?
Like I never see like having a relationship with them. I just want to stay friends with them.
Is that your opinion or his?
Well,
Did you think
yeah.
think before you answer?
Okay.
Did you
I
understand my question?
Yeah.
What
like
did you
if
understand?
he like misinterprets like our
See, I am that boy who was lucky enough to be picked to be your friend. You are planning nothing more than just hanging out, as you mentioned. I quote you. But I actually have a much different plan in life with you and for you.
well, it's like I keep it like as at a friend zone. Like I'm not gonna like just like hanging out. Like I don't see what's wrong with that. If we like go to the mall or something together, like I don't see what's wrong with that.
And when you meant to go to the mall, is that you and me alone, or can we take other kids?
They always say go as a group, but it's like they'd let me go with like a girl alone. Like why can't it be a guy alone?
And what do you think the reason why they are saying don't go with a guy alone?
Because they're like afraid like that I'm gonna like something could happen with him.
Physically, you mean?
Yeah.
We're always thinking bad, right?
Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, we are very bad-minded people. So Michael, that your sister always come and talk to you.
Yeah.
And she tells you, Mom and Dad are difficult, Mike, and I'm telling you, I don't want them to know, but I'm going with Hani to the mall. He's a good guy. We are not thinking of anything bad. It's just a hanging out. We're going just to walk around for an hour, coming back. What are you going to tell her?
First of all, she never tells me what she does, so I wouldn't know. But I mean, I would first of all tell her to tell Mom and Dad, because it's not good
She
to.
did, and both of them were, you know how they are. I mean, she tells you already, oh, they are intolerable. They never understand. They are, I don't want to say the other words because I was in their shoes before.
I would probably tell Mom and Dad that she's doing it behind their back, because she wouldn't listen to me if I told her not to do it.
Yeah. What?
Look at this. She's
Cutting that
glitching
relationship now.
That's it. She's only talking to
Yeah.
Caitlin from now on. All right. So you are going to tell Mom and Dad because you are what?
I guess worried.
You are
Something.
worried.
Something.
Okay. But aren't you going to tell her anything first? And what are you going to say? I mean, she trusts you and you are only a few years ahead of her, so it's not like 20 years ahead of her.
I mean, I never really cared about, like in high school, hanging out with.
No, but your sister is now coming to tell you that. And with your age, and you said things can go wrong. Are you going to warn her, to tell her why it's wrong, or?
Yeah, I would tell her why, and like what could happen.
Okay. All right. Nancy, she is seeing a lot of her girls who are friends are having boys who go to games. They watch a game and they go, not a movie, but they go to malls, as you said, library, whatever. And your sister is having no for an answer. And she needs to be convinced. And what you said so far is not convincing.
And
What
when I
would you
tell-
say?
That when I tell her she can't go,
Because you basically told her, I am afraid things can get physical. She answered and said, but I trust myself, it will never get physical. It's not in my mind. That's basically what we said so far. I mean, you can employ your authority and say no, and probably that's what will happen. But I was hoping to close that gap and come to some sort of conviction. Can you help us out?
well, like I've told her before, if she really wants to go, I really rather her be in a group. I
So a
really
group.
do. I prefer.
And what's the problem with that? I mean, you and I will go, and 10 other boys and girls.
But it's like if I want to meet up with just you, why do I have to invite other people? Like, I just want to be like.
But then why do you want to be alone? See, that's the,
Well, it's like-
the other, side of the whole thing. Why try to test something that could be, and then when God forbid you get there, it's a problem. So we're trying to avoid the problem. I don't.
It's like so much harder to like make groups like come together as like individual. It's like so much easier. I like it better.
I think that's a very lame excuse. I'll tell you why, because a lot of people want to go together. You can just tag along. You think the reason you are insisting to go with me alone because it's difficult to get other people? I don't think so. But why? She asked a very good question. I didn't think about it. Why are you insisting to go with him alone? Not because it's easier. I mean, if you call a couple of your girls and boys and tell them, listen, we are all hanging out, everybody will jump on the opportunity and will come in. So she asked a very good question, which I thought it's very logical, but I never thought of it. Why are you insisting to go with him alone?
But then it's like, why wouldn't she ask me that if I'm going with a girl? Like, she won't tell me to go with a group if it's a girl.
Okay, back to you, Mom. Yeah.
Well, going back to the whole girl issue, she knows. Like I always say, well, is so and so's mom going to be there, or someone else, like an older person in the vicinity, just to be near, you know, a situation, you know, if it is that mall, like, you know, still have an eye but not an eye on them, you know what I mean? But I think the whole boy girl there, it could be very a hairy situation.
Okay.
So
That's lame. Yeah.
It's what?
it's lame, she said.
But I think Mom had said one thing that I find you still not able to answer well. Why are you insisting to be alone with a boy when you claim there's nothing really personal too much between you?
Yeah, it's just like a friend. Like, why can't I just hang out with him alone?
Exactly.
I don't get what's wrong with that.
Okay, but why also? You are fine. You are saying why not, and I'm asking why yes. And I want you to answer that.
It's just like hanging out.
Okay, fine. I'll leave that for a minute. Let me ask you something you said early on, and I want you and Dad to answer me. He was a boy one time in his life, and one day you are going to be in her shoes one day in your life. You said, I would like to learn more or get advice from that person. Didn't you say that? Something
Yeah,
like that?
yeah.
When I asked you what is the objective of a friendship, you said, we get to know each other, I can ask opinions. Can you elaborate on this? Why a boy, his opinion will be more interesting or more needed?
Well, it's like girls, we like usually typically think the same. But
I
like,
see.
Yeah, guys think it as like a different view.
So what a question you could ask a boy, if you don't mind, that you think a girl cannot or is not interesting to be answering it?
Well, like if a guy's acting a certain way to me, I'd like ask another guy like, what does that mean or something. Like a girl would think of it probably the same way I'm thinking, like what. But
Oh, I
a
see.
guy could like.
Okay, all right, I see that. Do you see that, Nether? What she's saying is, if, for example, I made any clue, she will ask you, you are her friend now, why is he doing that? Because you will understand me more. What do you think of that objective in friendship? Taking an opinion of a friend who happens to be a boy more than a girl.
I mean, trying to get a different perspective or a different point of view from a different gender. I mean, it's nice to have a friend who's a boy who you can ask this question to. But if you want to get that same perspective, you're blessed to have a brother that can answer that question. You know what I mean? The brother can give you the impression as to why a certain boy is acting to you a certain way. And that close.
I'm good.
I could see
me, Kristen.
if you don't have a brother, then that could be an excuse. But you have a brother, you have a father who can sort of guide you as to the actions of a certain boy. I don't think it's that necessary. I think I can deduce why a boy is acting a certain way. You sort of know, but this is more of a temptation to separate you two together and to use that as an excuse. Like, I need to understand, why boys think a certain way. I always say just be cautious. Be cautious of these types of temptations that like to single you out with a certain person from the opposite gender. Just to be cautious. That's all.
Okay. I mean, Michael, do you know how boys think?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
When they like to have one-to-one friendship as a boy, not as a Michael Bersoon, what generally we as boys think of?
I'm like, usually it's like, most of the time it has to do with like girlfriends and stuff like that. I think that's the only reason why a guy would want to get closer to a girl. At least
I mean, I don't want to sort of label us as wolves, because that's not fair either. Because I know if you would have gone in a friendship with a girl, you would never have done anything even close to what we are describing. So, Kristen, coming back to your point, which I feel like we have not answered you well. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Is there anything we said so far? And you are representing all the girls, so I don't want you to feel like why he's talking to me alone. I'm talking to you alone because you happen to represent a lot of high schools are going to be watching this, so I want you to stand up for them. Is anything was said now? And trying to really be non-stubborn and open-minded. And I wish also mom and dad are the same. Is anything Caitlin said or they said makes sense to you that, yeah, I can see that this is a problem? Just to summarize what we said, anything.
Like, I guess the whole, like, hang out with the group thing, it's fine.
Okay, so the group thing is fine,
Yeah.
and it's fine because of what, Mom? Why are you okay with that, and you weren't okay with both of us going to the mall alone?
It's just more mind settling to know, at least, especially if you have good company with good friends, they're all going to watch each other's backs. And that's what I want. I want a good relationship with their friends. And, you know, if one falls, they could all, you know, be with her or any other friend, or she could lift up another person.
Okay.
But as opposed to just one-on-one, I don't see where this, you know, it's going. I have no problem her being friends, again, but just isolating.
Let me ask you a very straightforward question, and please try to be straightforward with me as well. Do you trust your daughter that if she is with a boy, that she does not mean anything bad?
I trust Kristen.
Yes. Do you?
I do. I'm afraid in time if things can lead to one thing to another. That's what my concern is.
And Dad, do you trust your daughter that you raised her until that age, that if she is alone with a boy, that she will be able to preserve herself well?
I could see if this is over 1 or 2 visits, okay. But if this becomes a problem where it becomes habitual, where they want to be alone over several different visits, that could become more of a concern. Then I would be concerned. If we do allow, let's say, 1 time or 2 times, but if from that point you start noticing that they want to be separate, there's no need to be with my girlfriend. She's not as makes me as happy, or as she doesn't think like I do, or whatever. And I want to continue to. Then there's a concern. There's something. So that's why we're, as parents, worried about the next steps.
Mm-hmm. So, Kristen, do you actually believe your parents trust you?
No.
I think that's the problem. I think our problem today is not that she is looking for a boy to do anything bad with him. I think in our families today, our daughters and in a lot of extent actually boys, happens that Michael passed that stage maybe, they don't think and see and experience that we actually trust them. And they want to challenge the trust by actually daring to do what is formidable to you. But I think we need our boys and girls to learn that we trust them. But while I'm saying this, and I told him, as you heard, trust, as we always tell each other, is earned, is not just gained. And trust meaning you are growing in God, you are loving God, you confess and repent, you have relationship with the Bible. And that is by itself, I'm trusting you more, not because I raised you, but God within you is protecting you. The biblical truth is protecting you. Because one day you will be maybe in a different place in college, not even in home. And I must trust you at that time. But from the age of 15 until 22, this is the age that they need to show trust, but you need to earn trust. Number 2, your friend who's a girl and your friend who's a boy are not too much different in the thinking of mind, and for you to search and you want to know because I want the boy to tell me what they think, you probably know exactly what the boys think. And actually, I believe that girls are very introvert, and they understand much more than even boys. The third point, and I think we brought that up, is if I trust you as my daughter, you cannot ask me to trust your friend who is a boy as my son. With all respect, even if he is my nephew. I'm sorry, I didn't raise him. I don't know him. I know you since you were in diapers. I know you now when you are a beautiful young lady. I know you now when you are a handsome young man. I know you now when you are a beautiful young lady. But in the same time, you cannot ask parents to trust the relation, because the relation is two, not only my son, not only my daughter. There is a different person in the formula. And this different person, he may have completely different concepts, objectives, goals, games. I'm not saying he is a wolf or he's bad or he's getting there because he wants sex or something. I didn't mean that. But all what I mean, don't ask me to give my most important investment in life, which is my son or my daughter, to be alone with another person who I cannot and I'm not asked to trust him. Why should I? Just give me a reason. Why should I trust the other person?
Well, you're saying you trust me, so you gotta trust my judgment.
Okay, I trust your judgment in many, many things in life based on your age. One of the things that you in your age cannot yet judge upon is actually this area. You know why? Do you know why states, countries refuse people to get married before certain, say 18 or 19? Because they don't trust them to make a decision of marriage. As simple as that, by the way. Because hormonally speaking, you're not able, not because you are bad. I was also hormonally unstable when I was in your age. I am not able to make a commitment or a major decision in my life at a certain age. You are only going to get better and better, and your decision-making process will enhance and will improve, and you will be the most amazing wise woman. But until then, you are only growing in that. I cannot put my best investment in a situation where this situation could endanger you because I don't trust the other person. And I cannot trust you making that decision because you are not able to make the discernment about people yet completely. Even I, and I'm probably 4 times your age, I make mistakes about people. I choose a person as an employee or as a friend or as a colleague, and then I say, no, I think I should have thought again about it. So what I was saying is, and this is for all of us, we trust our children a lot, but we don't trust 2 things. We don't trust the environment, and we may not trust, and we are not asked to trust the other person you choose to go out with. So when you are in a group, we trust that your other people, even if I decided to be not a good person, other people will line me up, will put me in my place. I want you to understand, my daughter, that every single decision has consequences. And there are consequences even to a simple friendship that you'll say, what's wrong with that? Some of this friendship can result in love. May not be called love in your age, but severe attraction. And all of a sudden you are distracted from school, you are not doing good in school. I'm not thinking physical. I am not here to think of that you are endangering your purity. That's not my daughter. But I am also thinking that you'll be distracted from God, distracted from your career, distracted from family, distracted from your education. So what I would advise, please stay within the group. Please love everybody, but do not have your own person. Because as much as you want me to be your boy as a friend, I want you to be my girl. And if I find another boy talking to you, I'll be very jealous and I'll make your life very difficult. And all of a sudden you say, well, why do I need all of this? I want to enjoy high school. I want to enjoy all the friendship and love and the nicety of everybody. And I want you to always remember that the trust, you must hear it from your parents and you must grow in it. But I don't want you to think we are thinking bad of you, that you are such an impure person. It's not like that. It's the environment and the person on the other side. You are okay with that, Caitlin?
What?
You agree?
Oh,
You agree?
what?
Of everything.
Yes.
You agree? This was Closing the Gap. I really want to thank the Barsoom family for their nice attitude, always nice and gracious ideas and concepts. We are here to help. We are here to make all the families to be united, closing their gaps. I want to assure my boys and girls out there that even in the most troublesome, wavy families, there will be always peace and joy at the end. There are times of confrontations, and we hope with these programs we can lessen these. Until next time, have a good day and thanks.